Championship rings and things what we about. Competition out, down for the count. DFDUBB's about stacking our clout. No slacking our game, that's without doubt. Every snap, every pass, every running route. Every play of every game, man, we gon' scout. Players might rise and fall and then bust. DFDUBB provides it all you can trust. Trophies on the mantle, dubs on the panel. Opponents can't stand you, don't change the channel. Sit back, relax, take notes for a bit. DFDUBB Scrubs on the throne winning ships. DFDUBB Scrubs.
All right. Welcome to DFDUBB Scrubs podcast. DFDUBB Scrubs, your fantasy plug. I'm Alex, your host, along with Nambo, Christian, and then we got Turtle Valdez in the background. We're bringing you this brand new episode. How's that feel, Nambo? Can you not scratch that up,
boy.
please?
I love it.
I love it. You have a microfiber towel.
Oh, my hands are clean, bro. This thing stays.
I hope so. That was brand new. Oh no. Cody got it. News alert.
Yeah. So we actually had some news pop up right before the show started too, right? Debo just got his contract signed, boy. 3 years, up to $73.5 million. So hopefully that's what he was wanting. So, he got paid. Hopefully that's the contract he's wanting. If that's what he was wanting, that could mean another year like last year where he was used as a wide receiver running back combo. And I mean, we all saw what he did with that shit. So that might change some people's, drafting, positions at that point. Something somewhat minor, Jimmy G officially got cleared. So, he can most likely get cut from the 49ers at this point and picked up by somebody else. That's just speculation. But, it's the center for the Buccaneers went down in practice, was carted off the field with a serious knee injury. So what does that entail for that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line this season? Does it affect Tom Brady and the wide receivers and the running backs, fantasy-wise? I don't know. We'll just have to see. It is Tom Brady, so I highly doubt it. But, hey, Julio Jones signed with the Bucs too, so that's a pretty big deal, especially since they lost Gronk and AB last year. So that'll be a nice little spot filled. And then Metcalf, he signed his 3-year, $72 million extension with the Seahawks. So he is sewn up with them for the next 3 years.
Yeah, a lot of speculation is that if and when Jimmy G gets cut, he's probably going to go to Seattle. So he's definitely going to be an upgrade over what they got, Drew Lock over there.
Yeah. Drew Lock and Geno.
Yeah. Geno, I thought Geno played pretty good in that game he came in for Russ last year.
Hey, I started him in a super flex league, boy.
Yeah, how'd you do in that league?
I lost.
Did you make the playoffs in that league?
I never lost, bro. Hell no, bro. It was a YOLO moment just to try to creep up the ranks, not finish too low. It was a bad season, bro. It was a bad season.
Those super flex leagues, like you're desperate for quarterbacks. Anybody that plays quarterback, I mean.
Oh yeah, my plan didn't
Mike
work
White
out
was getting run last year.
So I was streaming, bro. I'm pretty sure I streamed Davis Mills in one or 2 weeks.
Ian Book. Nah, Davis Mills was all right, man. He's solid. He might be their future
even then in those superflex leagues, you're just trying to get somebody who's gonna play, because everybody has 2 and even maybe 3 quarterbacks on their team. So you're going down the waiver wire list like none of these dudes are even starting. So
I had Trey Lance. Yeah, I had Trey Lance last year. I stashed him the whole year, and then I offered him in a trade along with Cortland Sutton for Alexander Madison because I had Dalvin Cook, and they rejected that offer in a superflex league. So it doesn't always work out. But is that all you got, Nambo?
That is all I got wrote down, though, was really any relevance that I've noticed. Did I miss something?
Yeah. Jerry Jones said that the Zeke is going to be the point of that offense. He's going to be the main running back. They want to get him touches. He just bumped into my top 12. I don't know about y'all.
I could have sworn they said that last
He did. He finished as running back 6 last year.
Yeah, and he still had Tony Pollard creeping up there, taking his touches away slowly but surely, boy.
And then Javonte
Yeah, but
Williams
you
is
can't do
getting.
that with number 6.
That's what I don't get. Javonte Williams is getting taken in the second round. I'm like, what do y'all think is going to change from last year? They literally re-signed Melvin
There's
Gordon.
literally like a 50-50
I mean, I
split down the middle
understand.
between those
I
two last
understand the
year.
talent. Obviously, if something happens to Melvin Gordon, Javonte would be a bona fide league winner. But he's just going
Oh
way
yeah.
too high for his usage. I mean, I know the talent's there. He's obviously a beast, but I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking
I mean,
about.
Melvin Gordon still put up decent numbers
Yeah.
last year too.
So you
So
can get a
I
Melvin
mean, he
Gordon's still
wasn't.
really
you
good.
can pick him up much later.
I mean, I feel like he's kind of a steal where he's going.
uh,
Like, if he could produce like he
one
did
of
last
those,
year, especially if for some reason one of the injuries happened to either of those backs, the other side of him is just going to be
yeah, one of those
all the way up there.
RB dead zone running backs.
Mm-hmm. Those can
Oh yeah, I
pay
think he
or
makes
pay
it
out.
outside the dead zone. I think he's going in like 8 or 9.
Even
You
better.
know,
He's
so
going in the handcuff range
yeah.
when he plays literally half the snaps. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up, people. I don't know. As we get closer to draft season, with maybe people will actually like come to their senses. Not knocking Javonte. He's absolute monster.
I mean, but that's how they did it last year. Then that's how they did him last year, right? They took Davante Williams super high, and he did not pay off at his ADP.
Yeah, what do you,
Was it him or was it a different rookie? It was one of the rookies last year that just everybody took super high, and he
that was
just
Najee
was a
Harris. He
huge
finished
bust.
as RB3.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was Harris. I'm
A
trying to think
rookie
of who
running
it
back
was. I could have sworn.
that was taken like
I could
super
have
high
sworn it was
in fantasy
Javante Williams.
drafts.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was Javante Williams. I could be tripping though.
There was talks of ETN before he got hurt.
Yeah.
I know he was primed to go early.
Yeah, I knew
but
about that, but yeah, I don't know. I might be tripping a little bit. Who knows?
Well, we're like I said, this is the top 10 ADP QBs, top 10 tight ends, as I said when we first got on air here. But I guess we can move into that, and then we could do a freaking mock draft, which I think I'm ready to pick from my position, baby.
Run it,
Let's
bro.
run it,
Let's
baby.
just run it.
How about these
Let's just
QBs,
run
man?
this
Obviously,
shit.
Josh Allen's going number 1 overall. He's been back-to-back number 1 overall QB. It's hard to say that he's not going to finish that this year, but how you feel about him, Nambo?
Bro, I mean, I see him doing it again. Like, I don't see any reason for him not to finish as a QB1 again this year. Like, the level of talent surrounding him is just getting better and better. The emergence of Gabriel Davis has been a blessing for him, too. He finished third in rushing attempts last year and rushing yards out of QB, so that just adds another deal to him. He's just a dual threat quarterback. I mean, he's a big dude, bro. Like, he's good. Did you see him get into a fight with the defensive tackle?
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, boy, he just kind of shrugged. He's about to box it out. I mean, he's thrown for over 4,000 yards last few seasons and 30-plus touchdowns. I mean, there's no real reason for any type of regression or anything like that. I mean, dude's bona fide QB1 all the way. I mean, I don't see any reason to take anybody else over him. He averaged about 24, 25 points a game last year, put up over 400 fantasy points. I mean, I want Josh Allen on my team. I think I drafted him.
Well, you with that number 2 pick, you have the
so.
opportunity to draft him. Like on it, I mean, not even joking in the first round, but if you come that second 3 term, he's gonna be there most likely.
It might be a consideration at that point because I mean, it's gonna be a minute, and I know
See
all
Josh
the top
Allen
tier
and
quarterbacks
then Mike
drop out
Evans
at
or
that point.
somebody.
Yeah, dude, that's a stud team, boy. Yeah, that sounds.
Oh, by the
you
way,
might convince me, bro. You might fucking convince me to be taking Josh Allen.
It's not like there's like 14 or 15 viable QBs this year.
But they don't put up numbers like Josh Allen. It's cool.
They don't.
But nah, Josh Allen's a beast, bro. He
But
threw for over 600. What?
Besides kickers, QBs are the easiest fantasy player to replace on the waiver wire.
Pretty much.
Besides kickers,
unless you're in a super flex. Unless you're in a super
that's
flex.
well, that's a whole different strategy.
That's rough, bro.
That's
But
when
yeah,
Josh
no,
Allen
for
is taking
sure.
number 1 overall. Yeah, I mean Josh Allen. I mean, what's there to say? Of course, he's going to be the first quarterback taken. But coming in at number 2 ADP is Pat Mahomes. Unless Christian has something to say about Josh Allen that we didn't already know.
Nope, y'all covered it. He's there for a reason.
Exactly. So number two is Pat Mahomes. I honestly I think he might fall back in drafts as far as people are probably gonna take some because Jalen Hurts is getting a lot of love, man. He may be QB1 before it's all said and done as far as the first QB. See what I'm saying? So some people that didn't watch Jalen Hurts actually play football and just saw the numbers at the end, he's not a great passer, but we'll get to him later. Um, like the guy in the middle. Oh no, he's gonna be on my right. Um, but Pat Mahomes, he's still the best QB in the league, at least to me. I don't know how y'all feel, but he's like he was Steph Curry of the NFL when he first came in, and that 2018 season where he dropped like 50 touchdowns. Like he was doing things that we hadn't seen on the field before. Like this guy was he took the league by storm. He obviously hasn't matched that production since then, but he's still been a top 5 QB every year he's been in the league. Like there's a reason he's being taken number 2. Obviously, people are worried about Tyreek's departure. They didn't want to pay the man. I don't know. It might actually work to Mahomes' benefit because it did just come down to a 2-person receiving corps over there with Kelsey and Tyreek. Now that Tyreek's gone, we might actually see a different Mahomes. He might actually get unleashed this year. Like, I think this is his best receiving corps he's ever had. I mean, overall,
Absolutely.
with MVS, they got Sky Moore, and then of course Juju, who a lot of people are counting down and out, but I don't know. I think Juju might be sneaky good this year. But like I said, he's not going to be just hyper targeting any player this year besides Kelsey. Kelsey's also he's like 32, 33 this year. We'll get into him a little bit later. Um, but I don't know. I think we might get a different Mahomes. Somebody's unleashed. He lost the AFC Championship game last year. Obviously, he has a bad taste in his mouth. He's the most talented quarterback in the league. I think most people feel that way. Um, but that being said, he hasn't matched that 2018 hype, so he may fall back to QB4 or something. Like he might actually be undervalued this year, depending where he's taken. Like for the first time in his career, which is, I feel like it's gonna be a major comeback season. But y'all got any
Yeah,
thoughts on Mahomes?
it's probably the latest you'll be able to get him in the next few seasons.
And
I don't see.
I was gonna say, and it's
But
also gonna be the easiest year to stack them. Like because he's
yep.
falling back. Like you'll be able to get those later. You're not gonna have to sacrifice your first 3 picks on Mahomes, Tyreek, and Kelsey this year. Because Kelsey, I
hmm
mean, he finished number 2 and he's older. We'll see how he falls in drafts because he's not going to be taken in the first round. I don't think this year. Um, but yeah, go ahead and finish your thought, Christian.
No, that was it. I mean, yeah, you probably won't be able to get him taken later than this in the next couple of years. He is a generational talent. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And then again, that division, they're gonna lead on him. And I mean, there's the people he has out wide. I mean, they're more than capable of getting it done. You know.
Absolutely. All right, so that Mahomes is going as a QB2 right now. Well, depending what site, along with Justin Herbert. Um, number 3, Justin Herbert. What you got, Christian?
I mean, there ain't really any hot takes, with Justin Herbert.
You don't
He's
need hot
he's
take.
going as a yeah. Well, I mean, he's number 3, and he's there for a reason. He's a great passer. He's one of the best passers in the league, and possibly in the best position out of all of these quarterbacks. Just with the division he's in, and the talent around him. He's got a good offensive line in front of him. They went out and made that offensive line better. They drafted the top ranked guard in the draft, Zion Johnson. He got 2 studs out wide, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They one of the best pass catching backs in Austin Eckler. They passed the ball a ton. If he was to finish the quarterback 1, I wouldn't be surprised. He throws a ton of touchdowns, and he got guys that they can make stuff happen after the catch.
100%. Up and coming star. the league's in good hands right now with young QBs with him, Lamar, Kyler. Depending on how you feel about Hurts and even the new guys with Lawrence and Trey Lance and Justin Fields and stuff. Like it's we're in a good shape right now.
You
You got
know
any
what's
thoughts on
crazy
him,
though?
Nabo?
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy though is all those quarterbacks you just mentioned. Like it's turning into a dual threat type of quarterback. Like they're all runners and passers. Like you don't really have Herbert's like one of those last few. Herbert and Burrow, I guess you could say, are like kind of one of those last few quarterbacks that are like pocket passers. They don't really run with their legs too much. So
Well,
it's definitely going
Burrow,
to be a
he got his knee fucked up.
well,
He
yeah,
can though.
but I
Burrow
mean
got
he can,
some.
but I don't think they want him to. Like, but
I don't
no, I
know.
mean for the most part though, like it's like you said, it's gonna be the league's in good hands with all the young quarterbacks that we got.
Yeah, but no, for sure, it's they're definitely prioritizing like the quarterbacks that can throw and run, right?
Hmm.
Um, the best in the league probably right now is Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah,
I think I think that's hard to dispute, right, Nambo?
yeah. No, I mean Lamar is the best, essentially the best running back in the NFL today. I mean, I would almost, what did I say, running
Did you
back?
mean to say
I
running back?
mean, I mean, I mean,
he's
essentially
gonna
he is, but I mean,
he's
quarterback,
gonna pull up your Twitter and hit.
running quarterback. My bad, my bad. But yeah, no, I mean, shit, I would almost say he's gonna be better than Vic maybe one day. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love me some Vic, but Lamar Jackson. I mean, he had a kind of a down year last year with injuries and everything. He only played 13 games, 16 passing touchdowns and only 2 rushing touchdowns, which I feel like is not really his style. I would expect the rushing aspect of it to kind of go up this year, especially with them kind of getting back with all their full running backs fully healthy. I know that's like the type of offense they really want to run is with that their run game because that's where they're the best. I mean, the past 2 years he's put up over 1,000 rushing yards um, with 7 touchdowns in both of those since his MVP year in 2019. So he can definitely, if he can definitely get somewhat close back to that form, I mean, he's easily probably he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league at that point. If he can go back to something like that, um, if it happens, I don't think so. Honestly, I have him somewhat low on my rankings. Out of the top 5 for sure, just because they lost Hollywood Brown. All they really have is Mark Andrews. Don't get me wrong, Mark Andrews is a
Mm.
stud, man. He's my boy. But without really any other reliable, proven pass catchers out there, I mean, I feel like they're gonna run heavy. They're gonna lean heavy on the run game, which could limit his fantasy outlook for the rest of the season. But I mean, if he can go back to doing what Lamar did 2 years ago, then I'll take him. But for the most part, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of there's a few other quarterbacks you could take before you'd really want to maybe consider Lamar Jackson, just because of
That's
nothing against Lamar himself, just because of he doesn't have any pass catchers out there. Like it's Mark Andrews and that's it.
Yeah, I
and
just
that's
don't see it happening. I mean, do you have something to say? You go. You can go ahead and get it out,
no.
Eric.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, my bad. Nah, I just don't see it happening. I mean, him getting back to where he was in his MVP season, he threw 36 touchdowns that year. Like you're saying, there's not a whole lot of pass catchers out there, and in our league, when we got a 6 point touchdowns for passing touchdowns. In order to be up there in that top 5, you're gonna have to throw 30 plus touchdowns, and I just don't see him getting there. He will have a higher floor than pretty much anybody just because what he does when he runs the ball. But where he's going, I'm probably not gonna get him.
I would say shame on y'all for counting out Rashad Bateman, aka somebody I'm definitely targeting this year because I think he's gonna have a monster year.
You do that.
Um, and that's the beauty of it. That's exactly what I was talking about with Mahomes and Jackson. Like these guys are falling to the back, and y'all want Hurts and Burrow. That's what everybody's talking about now. Everybody wants a piece of Herbert. And I'm like, good, okay, phenomenal quarterbacks. Y'all want y'all don't want Mahomes the proving QBs like. freaking Aaron Rodgers falling out of the top 12 right now. Like I don't know what's going on right now. Like I'm glad I'm so excited to wait for a QB this year. Like I'm fine. And even if I don't get one of those top tier QBs, I'll settle for a Derek Carr and then back him up with Trey Lance or somebody like that. Like, man, all this disrespect to these proven commodities that just
I
pretty
don't
much
even.
just blew up the league. It's just I would not stand for it. I'm gonna get on Stephen A over here. The audacity, the gall, he has a bigger vocabulary than I do.
I don't know if it's
But
disrespect though, man. Like I mean, look at the guy. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers is falling out
it
top
is.
of
He
12.
was hurt last year.
Oh,
I mean, Lamar Jackson was hurt
Yeah,
last
I
year.
mean, he only
I
played.
was,
He only played. Oh, I'm sorry. He only played 12
Rodgers
games
finished
last
as
year.
QB6. He's not being taken as QB6 this year.
no, he's not. But I mean, look at the guys in front of him. I mean, it's hard to rank them that far back. It's just the quarterback position so deep. You know.
That's why it's so awesome. Like I'm so okay with this. If any year you want to wait for a QB, this year is definitely one of those years, and it may be and it may just be the way that way for years to come because man, you're gonna end up with Rodgers in round 10 or something. Like that's nuts. But number 4 on ADP is Kyler Murray, another dual threat quarterback who just signed a huge extension. They had to make sure he stayed focused on the clause that they have in that
They took
contract.
that
Well,
out.
they already took it out apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they took it out.
Yeah,
Because that's mad
yeah, I know.
He was
disrespect to the boy.
embarrassed.
That man, you need to quit playing those video games and focus on learning the game, boy.
That's so concerning though. Like
That's very.
they have to say, "Hey man, come on, man, please, bro, we're gonna pay you all this money. Please
Who's
just watch some film, bro. Please, like we'll pay you."
who was that dude for the Raiders that didn't watch no film? Was their quarterback?
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, what is it, Jamarcus Russell 2.0?
Well, I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
Murray's
Murray's
been good.
good. I'm just.
He always starts off the season really hot, but he kind of fizzles out at the end of the year. So maybe that has something to do with
He
it.
also
Like,
lost
man,
D-Hop.
once the teams, he'll be back.
Well, when he did,
No, I'm just
when he
meaning in
did bad
general since
last
he's
year.
been in the league.
Well, yeah, but towards the end last year when he was kind of having a rough finish to the season, is because D-Hop was in and out, and he just, I guess he didn't have anybody else he
Well, he
trusted
was hurt
to.
as well.
True, that too.
But if he put in some film, he wouldn't need D-Hop so much.
That's true.
Hey,
Hey, he's got Hollywood Brown this year.
Yeah, another guy that I'm really high on. Not as like taking him above his ADP, but I'm fine with waiting on wide receivers if I have to. So Kyler Murray, he was a QB 10 last year in 14 games. He missed. It was kind of a weird year with D-Hop's injuries and then his own injuries. So I kind of throw last year out the window. But he has finished as a QB1 the last 3 years. He was on fire like I said, to begin the year from week through 7 with the healthy D-Hop. He was QB3. And then after D-Hop missed those 7 games with the hamstring issues, and then he had a torn MCL in week 14 that ruled him out the rest of the season, and Murray wasn't quite the same, along with his own injuries. But obviously he's going to be without D-Hop for the first 6 weeks to start the season. His passing yards and his completions, passing yards per attempts, per game overall, fantasy production, it all took a dip without D-Hop last year. So he's going to have to rely on his legs to begin the season. I think that goes without saying. Obviously, Marquise Brown is in the house, his former wide receiver from college. We'll see what they can do. Maybe they can get back on the same page, kind of a la Raiders. What's those dudes over there? Carr and Adams. Davante Adams, another guy that's falling in drafts. Man, it's just straight disrespect.
Bust.
I just like giving Crenshaw a hard time because he's got so much love for Davante Adams.
I mean, I do. I mean, and I mean, we made a bet this week. We put it right here, have it be recorded. Weren't you saying that Davante isn't gonna lead the Raiders in targets?
Nah, I don't think Davante leads the Raiders in targets.
We got 20 on it. We'll see. We'll see. I think that's absolutely
20.
crazy.
Sound like a $50.
I think so. I mean, if you're really, really
How
confident
about
in it.
this? You don't even have to put money on it. How about whoever has a higher draft order next year, y'all give it up or something like that. I don't
I'm
know.
cool with that.
Some fantasy related.
Fantasy related.
And whichever leagues that you guys are in, because I don't know.
I mean, what's your confidence level, bro? I mean, 'cause
Oh, my
I'm
confidence
pretty
level is very
confident.
high. My confidence level is very high.
We don't have to do it fantasy related, but we could up the stakes. You know, $20 isn't much. We can take the 50.
1,000. Let's go. Big dollars.
I'll do it. It'd be my luck. Davante ends up getting hurt this year, or something like that.
But yeah, Kyler Murray, I think he's gonna be.
You got
So
on
yeah,
topic. You got on topic.
He's gonna be falling in drafts a little bit with those worries to start the season. But he's still solid, man. Like Kyler's still proven to be a QB1 every year of his career, or besides his rookie year, his starting years. Another QB that may fall back. I don't know where y'all got him in y'all rankings, but I think I got him at 4 or 5 right now.
I got him at.
So
I got
he'll
him.
be fully healthy. He'll be fully paid, and one of the few QBs that are actually capable of finishing QB1 this year.
Yeah, he's my favorite besides Josh Allen out of all the dual threat quarterbacks. He can actually pass the ball very well. You know, and like you're saying, he starts off hot every season. Cool, let him start off hot this season and get D-Hop back week 7. You know, I could see him easily finishing top 1. I don't have him there, but if he was, I wouldn't be surprised.
Agreed. But number 6 on the list, we got Joe Burrow coming up. Another person that's another QB, man. All these QBs are just freaking awesome. How you feel about him, Christian?
Man, this is a guy that I want to have him ranked, you know, super high, you know, 1 and 2, just because he's probably he's a very good quarterback, maybe one of the best passers. I mean, and he's super efficient. You know, last year, and he was doing it all behind like a horrible offensive line. You know, last year he was sacked 51 times, finishes the QB8. The next guy to finish in the top 10 to make that sack list was Justin Herbert with 31 sacks. You know, he was sacked 20 more times than him. And then just his efficiency. You know, he was first in completion percentage, first in yards per attempt. He ranked 15th in pass attempts, but 6th in yards, 17th in red zone attempts, but 8th in TDs. You know, he's super efficient, and you know, with that upgrade to the offensive line and all those playmakers, you know, with another year under the belt, I think he's gonna have a really good season. Not only that, you know, they started passing more towards the end of the season. You know, weeks 1 through 11, they weren't passing very much, but 13 through the playoffs, they upped it to like 36 times a game, which would have ranked inside the top 10. But my problem with Burrow is just that offense runs so slow. They were ranked 31st in pace of play last year, and they're just even if they do up their pass attempts per game, there's just not a whole lot of plays on the offensive side, and I can't see them changing that. They made it to the Super Bowl, you know.
Doing that, yeah. I mean, he does have a very talented receiving. I mean, he has probably one of the best talented receiving cores and running backs, and that O line got shirt up this year. So there's no reason to change anything, but man, they definitely should. All right, coming in at number 7, a Mr. Dakota Prescott, aka best QB in the league. Nambo's definitely a super fan. Has plenty of jerseys in the closet. He's a closet fan. I guess that's where the term comes from. What you got on deck?
Yeah, so Dak finished QB9 last season, even without his rushing upside of it. They kind of held him back last year just to kind of, I guess be protective of his leg. No Amari Cooper this year. Don't really see that being too much of a concern. He's still got Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Dalton Schultz, and even the rookie Tolbert, who's got a lot of buzz coming out of training camp. So that could be a nice surprise for him. The Cowboys' offense in general, They love to throw the ball. They were first in points per game and total yards last year. I mean, if they continue to do that, then and add Dak into more running plays, I mean, Dak's upside is top 3 easy. He finished the season with 37 touchdowns, about 4,500 rush or passing yards. So, and that's with him missing a game. So, add in another game, I mean, he's almost top 3 in passing yards for the season. So, and at least in the top 10. Like I said, his rushing was down last year. I mean, he only had 48 rush attempts and 1 touchdown. If they give him some more, QB sneaks in there in the 10-yard line, I think he'll be a stud for those later ADP rounds that he's getting taken in.
Deep.
Other than that, I mean, there's not too many downsides to Dak Prescott. I mean, since he's came into the league, he's been nothing but done nothing but produce. So,
and go
Hey,
ahead, Christian.
and he's getting better every season. Like, I mean, just watching him, I know about like fantasy and stuff, but just watching him, you can tell that every season he's progressing. I don't even think he's hit his prime yet, you know. And yeah, no, I think he'll do great if they're in there, like you were saying, they're talking about rushing him more. If they get back to where he's getting 300 rushing yards for the season and 5 or 6 touchdowns, that definitely moves him up a tier. Into that elite company in fantasy wise.
Yeah, this would be the year. I was reading somewhere where age 29 is that next tier breakout for quarterbacks, and he's not somebody that you have to put in a clause in his contract of going to having to study film. He's passionate. He's dedicated to his craft. And that just you said he finished QB9 like. Man, the QBs are so deep this year. If I have to end up with Dak Prescott, it's in this efficient offense, high, prolific and first in scoring and yards, it'd be awesome.
Yo,
We them boys.
Hey.
But staying within the division, we got Jalen Hurts coming in. Definitely somebody who's rising quick. He's getting a lot of hype, man. A lot of hype. He finished as QB9 in 4-point passing TD leagues and QB11 in the 6-point leagues. He led the league in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and red zone attempts, leading to the most rushing TDs for QB, which is he finished at 10. He had 11 QB1 finishes last year. It sounds like that's his floor, and maybe that's why he's rising so much. Obviously, with the addition of AJ Brown, they're putting the pieces around him to succeed this year. So if he can bring it all together, last year they did try to start off as a more of a passing offense. Obviously, it wasn't quite working. It wasn't equating to wins. So they switched over to a more run heavy offense. People would assume that they're gonna go back to the pass heavy. You don't acquire AJ Brown for no reason. So if they try to let him unleash, and if he can keep up with what the demand that they're gonna have over there, then I mean he can definitely crack that next tier, that top 5. But that's gonna be a major issue. Is his accuracy. Like that's the problem with him, right? His passing still needs a lot of improvement to be a lead in the NFL. His rushing capabilities, like I said, put him at a high floor. That's really what it comes down to. Is he gonna take that next step as a passer in this league to jump that tier? What do you guys feel about him?
I feel like it's do or die for him this season. Like there's no excuses. You guys AJ Brown, Davante Smith, and Goddard. They got a good offensive line. If he don't take that next step forward this year in passing, then they're probably gonna. I can see them looking for another option. I mean, they want to throw the ball, and if he can't do it with these weapons, then
they still got Gardner back
what is he
there.
doing here? Oh yeah, exactly. So, and in order for him to crack that top, all that love he's getting this season, for me anyways, especially the league we're in with 6-point passing touchdowns, I'm gonna need to see him, double his touchdown production last year me to be reaching on him where he's getting taken.
I mean, I think there's
Nambo,
a
I know.
big chance for that because I'm really high on Jalen Hurts. I mean, if you look at it, AJ Brown is super efficient in yards and has a monstrous yards after catch ability. I mean, that's what he's shown in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill. That's why Ryan Tannehill looks so good sometimes. The Eagles last year ranked second in screen rates, so they do a lot of dump off passes. What did I just say? AJ Brown, super efficient and run after yards after the catch. So I see a lot of dump offs coming maybe AJ Brown's way, and then just letting him do work, and that's going to be obviously that's going to be a lot of cumulative stats for Jalen Hurts. I mean, like you guys said though, his biggest question mark is the downfield passing, but I mean they've upgraded that offense all the way around, just especially with AJ Brown. I mean, I think that was the last missing piece for Jalen Hurts to really take the plunge into top 5 quarterback territory next season. I mean, I'm super high on Jalen Hurts this year. I think he's going to do really well.
Where do you have him ranked?
Why are they doing all those dump off passes?
Do what?
Because he can't throw.
Hey, but
where
I
do you have
mean,
him
there's been
ranked?
a whole offseason. I have him ranked third.
Third.
I have him ranked
And that's
third
that's
on my list.
exactly my point.
I have him ahead
these
of
quarterbacks are pushing down, proving QBs. Like you're taking them over Kyler
I'm
and
taking him
Lamar,
over Kyler. Yeah.
bro. You are
I
really,
think Jalen Hurts is gonna do really good this year. I think that's why everybody's showing him so much
but
love because he's
you're
gonna take that
drafting him at
lead.
his ceiling at 3, bro. That's the thing. Like there's no improvement there. Like if he doesn't perform there, then you just wasted that pick.
Then you waste it, but I think he's gonna take that next lead, bro. I promise you. I think he's gonna
Well,
take that
just
lead.
because you got him ranked at 3, don't mean you got to take him as a third quarterback off the board. I mean, there's no reason to take him in the 4th round when you can get him in the 5th. I guess. I mean, that looks like about where he's going, but I definitely not putting him ahead of the even the other dual threat quarterbacks. He's definitely, from what we've seen, the worst passer out of those high level dual threat quarterbacks.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
I mean the
definitely.
jury's still out.
I could see him. I could see him finishing top 3 this year.
I mean, he has that upside, but it has to go perfectly for him to finish there. It's just not like I said, and that's exactly what I was saying. He's moving up. He's getting a lot of hype right now. But moving on. I mean, we'll see. Moving on, we got
I feel like it's
Tom
hard for y'all to
Brady.
just go that way because y'all are such diehard Cowboy fans.
I'm very unbiased when it comes to fantasy.
little homer feelings going into that judgment there.
No, I mean you're talking about a QB 11, a QB 3. That's crazy.
I'm just saying, bro.
And that's
go big,
like
go home.
that's him. That's him leading the league in rushing. In rushing for QBs last year.
Hey,
yeah,
but he does have a lot of height, so make sure you reach out there and grab him.
Right? Yeah,
I mean,
somebody might take him.
I mean, in most of my mock drafts, if he's fallen to me, I take him. If he doesn't get taken, dude, I take Jalen Hurts every time, dude. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna do awesome this year. AJ Brown was the last missing piece for me. I'm sold. I mean, you got Davante Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, like, bruh.
He's primed for a good year. I mean, we have to wait and see. Like they said, there's no excuses this year. He got all the pieces around him.
Yeah. So the Eagles GM Howie Roseman, he said he had to reiterate at the end of the season that Jalen Hurts is their starting QB. Like, you don't do that for somebody. Like, there is question marks surrounding Jalen Hurts. But we'll see.
He's good, I promise.
Like, no, stop asking me about him. We're gonna stick with him. Yeah, we'll see if he brings it together. I just think he's going way too high like that. Way too high. If he would have stuck in where I feel like he should be, maybe around QB 7 or so, then I think that's more appropriate. But like you said, you got him at QB 3 now. I think that's just crazy.
I love it.
But moving on, ADP number 10, Tom Brady. When are we gonna stop counting him out? He finished. This dude is freaking phenomenal. I don't know what I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he has been surrounded with the best coach and the best teams, in probably NFL history, but that takes nothing away from him being able to manage those games the best way he can. He was QB2 last year. Tom Brady falling down to the 10th ranked quarterback now. So how you feel about Tom Brady, man?
I definitely take him, as a 10th quarterback off. He's like the Mayweather of quarterbacks, man. Like every year you kind of think like this might be the year that that it doesn't go his way, but it'd be stupid to bet on it. He's a million years old and he's still performing at the highest level. Um, but he's also in a great situation. They throw the ball pretty much more than anybody in the league. They're one of the fastest paced offenses. And even now, more so, he's being taken the 10th quarterback off the board. I mean, I can see him raising. We were thinking that he was going into the season with just Mike Evans and Lenny to throw the ball to pretty much, but now it looks like Chris Godwin's primed to be back, week one or at least very early in the season. They went out and got old Julio, and they still got Russell Gage. So he has a ton of weapons around him. He came back for another year. He didn't come back to be a bus driver. He's gonna throw the ball a ton, and he's gonna have another really good year. What y'all think?
I love me some
Yeah,
Tom
I
Brady,
mean, you expect him to fall off, right?
obviously.
But
Like,
at some point, because even Peyton Manning's last year, when he was just out there, he was being dragged out there. Like the way he was throwing the ball is like he was pushing the ball at the end of his career. But Brady's been taking care of his body. Obviously, that's he has a pedigree to win, and then like you said, he's always surrounded by a fantastic team. So he should be. He's going as QB10 right now, or as the 10th quarterback off the board. Yeah, that's a steal again.
Yeah, he threw for 5,300 yards last year. That was 300 more than the second person behind him.
43
He's
touchdowns.
first in 43 touchdowns, threw 719 times. That's second most in history. He's getting all the opportunity, tons of talent. Being taken at 10 is disrespectful, like you were saying. Definitely wait to grab quarterback. If you don't get one of those elite, top three, I'd say um, there's a lot to be had in the later rounds.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Tom Brady at QB9. People, I'm sorry. We got number 10 rounding out the top 10 ADP is Russell Wilson. What you got, Nambo?
Wilson, bro. He's going to a new team this year. All right. So let me just ask you guys this: which two quarterbacks recently have swapped teams after playing a team for most of their career and just had immediate success? Right. Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford. Right. Which both have won Super Bowls
Peyton Manning.
since they have switched over from a team. I'm talking about this like recent. So. Uh, so I'm looking for Wilson to do just great, way better than what he has with the Seahawks. Honestly, he's not going to be in a run-heavy offense really anymore. In my opinion, he's got a little bit better weapons spread out across besides just being DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. He's got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Albert O at tight end. KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick. I mean, he's got plethora of receivers that really aren't that bad. As far as finishing for the year, I mean, if he goes back to being old, efficient, Russell Wilson, he's easily going to finish top six for the season, with already having finished top six 5 times since 2014. I mean, he's an efficient quarterback. He's I mean, they don't have a bad offensive line. I mean, he's just going to a better team, in my opinion. He only played 14 games last year. Still had 400 attempts with 25 touchdowns, over 3,000 passing yards. Averaged about 18 points a game. So definitely look for that stuff to go up, especially if he stays fully healthy. Even the rushing touchdowns, he only had 2 of those, but I mean, I would think he'd kind of go up a little bit on those too. So I don't really see too many down things other than, I mean, maybe he just goes out there and just can't click with his team very well. But I mean, Russell Wilson's he's an elite quarterback for a reason. I mean, he's definitely going to just a better offense and all the way around. You know, he doesn't have to worry about just handing the ball off to his running back every play. He actually gets to cook. Let Russ cook, bro. Let Russ cook. And that's what he's going to do this year. He's going to cook. Yeah, no, Wilson's definitely rounding out my top 10 just because of the upgrade across the board for him going into the season. I mean, he's just going to be there.
I think they're gonna be at least want to be more run heavy. I mean, they got one of the best back duos back behind Russ and Nathaniel Hackett. You know, comes from a system where they run the ball a lot. But that being said, you know, Russ is in that division where it's not gonna matter. They're gonna have to throw the ball, and yeah, Russ is a stud. You know, he's a stud with talent surrounding him. I think they're gonna have to lean on him whether they want to or not. He's
like
gonna
you
be
said,
great.
All right, any more adjectives for Russell Wilson, or are you done, Christian?
He's a monster. He's
he's married to Sierra. Yeah, no, I mean, he's QB 10 off the board. Another reason to wait because Russell's going to be solid. They may run a lot over there, but he should be pretty efficient because Russell's just one of the best in the league to do it. Okay, so that concludes our top 10 ADP. Let's just run it back right quick. We got Russell at 10, Tom Brady at 9, Jalen Hurts at 8, Dak at 7, Joe Burrow at 6, Murray at 5, Lamar Jackson at 4, Justin Herbert at 3, Pat Mahomes at 2, Josh Allen at number 1, obviously. And then we got Nambo with some trivia today. What you got for us?
All right,
buddy?
bro. Since we were talking about quarterbacks, I kind of went with a quarterback-related trivia question. It's not really fantasy-related or anything. It's just NFL in general. So who holds the record for the most consecutive starts in the NFL?
Is he active?
He is not active, no.
Still,
Oh, okay, just in general.
Just in general. And
Okay, can I ask you?
you don't have to think like
Let me.
too far back, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah. So is he a positional player like a
Quarterback,
QB
yeah. Since we
or
were talking
a
about
kicker?
quarterbacks,
Okay.
it's a quarterback-related question. So it is a quarterback for who holds the record for the most consecutive starts in the NFL.
Consecutive starts, so not just games
Not
played.
just consecutive starts. He's a
Yeah,
Hall of Famer. I'll give you that much.
no, I know it's good. I just want to guess on the first try. Brett Favre.
That is right. Brett Favre.
damn, I'm 0 for 3 at this point.
What? Who are you
That
gonna
dude
say?
was playing. He played old too.
Oh, Brett Favre was old as hell, bro.
DFDUBB Scrubs, your fantasy plug, baby.
DFDUBB Scrubs coming up. DFDUBB Scrubs get the dubs. DFDUBB Scrubs is the plug. DFDUBB Scrubs showing love.